What's going on with the weather? We know what's going on with the hurricane.
Yeah.
So our nice weather, believe it or not, has played a factor in the hurricane. We talked some about it last night. The hurricane is finally moving a bit. Our nice weather, going to see a bit of a change too. I didn't save us for the worst though, so keep that in mind. We've got a lot that's going to play out over the next 24 hours. Let's get started first with the big topic, of course, Hurricane Dorian. Hurricane hunters, they're wrapping up another mission in the storm. We got the latest advisory at 4 o'clock. It is a high-rated Category 2 hurricane with winds of 110 miles per hour. Still get a good chunk of damage with it. This is the peak of hurricane season. It begins June 1st. It goes through November 30th. September is the most active month, and that indeed is pretty much living up to its reputation right now. A couple other disturbances out in the Atlantic we'll talk about at 5 o'clock. Right now, the current path, as we look at it in the forecast projections, they continue to keep the storm itself out in the Atlantic, but outer bands would certainly impact the Florida coast, Georgia coast, and even the South Carolina coast. And they are pretty consistent still with the outer bands of North Carolina, Cape Hatteras, those locations with potential landfall if it were to make landfall in the U.S. At home, quiet weather. We've had high pressure and control for a couple days. Great this evening if you're doing a little grilling or have to head to pick up the kids from after school activities and those sports practices. Mostly sunny, 91 at 5, 89 at 6. Sunsets at 7:12 will be at 88 degrees. 90s out there right now, a few 80s towards the plateau. And as we take a look as far as the rest of the day goes, great day for the zoo. We're going to see more clouds pushing in tomorrow. Frontal boundary right out here. This front just brings some clouds again for Wednesday, and it helps to steer Hurricane Dorian as we head into Thursday, because as this pushes in, it starts to shift the storm a bit more to the northeast, and that would be good news for folks along the East Coast. Still getting these outer rain bands and some pretty strong winds from it, but it prevents it from making landfall in most of those locations. 70 will be our low temperature tonight. Looking at the next 7 days, we have temperatures in the 90s for one of the next 3. We're in the 80s, as you can see, by the time we head towards Thursday. That's behind the cold front. That takes you through the weekend before heat and humidity start creeping back in as we start next week. And we're back to 92 come Tuesday. So a bit of a break from the 90s on the way. Stay with us. More to come here on News Channel 5 at 4.